Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Algabot, and today we're taking a close, educational look at an expert advisor for MetaTrader 5 called Gann Activator Trend. This is a trend-following system built around the classic Gann HiLo Activator, paired with a slower moving average filter and a volatility-based stop and target. Over the next few minutes, we'll unpack exactly how it reads the market, how it decides to enter long or short, and how it manages risk on every single trade. By the end, you'll understand the logic from the chart all the way down to the code. Let's get started. So what exactly does this expert advisor do? At its heart, Gann Activator Trend is a trend-following system. It's designed to identify when a market has shifted into an up move or a down move. Join that move once it's confirmed, and then stay with it until the trend rolls over or the trade stop or target is reached. The engine driving it is the Gann HiLo Activator, a well-known and refreshingly simple tool. For every completed bar, the strategy averages the highs of the previous several bars and, separately, averages the lows. Those two averages form a pair of rails around price. When a bar closes above the upper rail, the activator flips to an up state. When a bar closes below the lower rail, it flips to a down state. Otherwise, it simply keeps its previous reading. That behavior gives it a characteristic staircase pattern that tends to hold a direction through minor noise. On top of that, the strategy adds a slower exponential moving average as a regime filter, set to 50 bars by default. Long trades are only considered when price is trading above that average, and short trades only when price is below it. This filter is there to discard the many false flips that happen while a market is drifting sideways around its mean. Because the activator works symmetrically, the EA trades both directions. It can go long in an up move and short in a down move, using exactly mirrored logic. Who is this style suited to in an educational sense? It's aimed at traders who are studying trend-following and rules-based systems, and who want to understand how a regime switch, a trend filter, and volatility-based risk fit together. Remember, this is educational information only, not financial advice, and trading always involves risk, including the risk of loss. Let's walk through the mechanics step by step. Everything the EA does happens on a closed bar, so nothing repaints and no decision depends on a candle that's still forming. First, the activator. On each completed bar, the strategy adds up the highs of the previous 10 bars and divides by 10 to get an average of the highs. It does the same for the lows to get an average of the lows. Think of these as an upper rail and a lower rail sitting around price. The decision is straightforward. If the bar just closed above the upper rail, the activator direction is set to up. If it closed below the lower rail, the direction is set to down. If price finished between the two rails, the previous direction is simply carried forward. A change of direction, from down to up or up to down, is what the strategy calls a flip, and a flip only happens on a genuine break of the opposite rail. Second, the trend filter. The EA also tracks a slower exponential moving average of the closing prices, 50 bars by default. This acts as a gate. A long is only allowed when the closing price is above that average, and a short is only allowed when the close is below it. Now the entries. For a long, the strategy needs two things to line up on the same bar: a fresh flip to the up state and a close above the trend average. When both are true, the EA signals a buy. For a short, it's the exact mirror. A fresh flip to the down state and a close below the trend average signals a sell. The system always trades with the freshly confirmed direction, never against it. Risk management is defined the moment a trade opens. The EA measures current volatility using the average true range over 14 bars. The stop loss is placed at 2 times that range away from entry, and the take profit at 3 times the range. That fixed structure gives a reward-to-risk ratio of 1.5 to 1. And it scales automatically with how volatile the market is at the time. Finally, the activator doubles as an exit engine. If a position is open and the activator flips the other way, that trade is closed immediately. And if the trend filter agrees, the position can reverse. The EA holds at most one position at a time, so the stop, the target, and the opposite flip together bracket every trade. Let's read the important parts of this EA the way you'd see them inside MetaEditor. At the top are the input parameters, the dials you can adjust before running it. HiLoPeriod, set to 10, is the lookback for the activator rails. TrendEmaPeriod, set to 50, is the slower moving average filter. ATR period, set to 14, controls the volatility measurement. AtrSL multiple and AtrTp multiple, 2 and 3, set the stop loss and take profit as multiples of that volatility. Lots is the fixed position size, and magic is the identifier the EA uses to recognize its own trades. Below the inputs is the long block. The condition reads, if flipped up and close is greater than EMA. In plain English, if the activator has just flipped to up and the closing price is above the trend average, the EA prepares a buy. It reads the ask price as the entry, sets the stop loss 2 ATRs below entry, and the take profit 3 ATRs above. As long as the entry sits above the stop, it calls trade.buy with the lot size, the stop, and the target attached. The short block is the mirror image. If flipped down and close is less than EMA, the activator has just flipped down and price is below the trend average, so the EA prepares a sell. It reads the bid price, places the stop loss 2 ATRs above entry and the take profit 3 ATRs below, and once the stop sits above the entry, it calls trade.sell with the same structure. Notice that both sides attach the stop and target at the moment of entry, so every trade has its risk defined from the start. This is educational commentary on the code, not financial advice. Now let's bring the logic to life on the chart. On screen you can see a candlestick sequence with 3 lines drawn over it. The red line is the upper activator rail, the average of recent highs. The green line is the lower activator rail, the average of recent lows. And the blue line is the slower trend average, our 50-bar filter. Watch how price interacts with all 3 as the trades unfold. We begin on the left with a market that's drifting lower. The first few candles are soft, printing lower closes while price sits below the upper rail and hugs the lower one. During this stretch, the activator is in its down state, and importantly, price is bumping around the trend average rather than trending cleanly. There's no fresh signal here, so the EA simply waits. This patience is the whole point of the trend filter, sitting out the chop. Then the tone changes. A candle pushes up off the base and closes higher, and on the next bar price accelerates and closes decisively above the red upper rail. That break is the fresh up flip. At the same moment, the close is sitting above the blue trend average, so both conditions the strategy needs are satisfied on the same bar. This is where the buy entry marker appears. The EA reads the ask and instantly brackets the trade. A stop loss 2 ATRs below entry, just back under the recent lows, and a take profit 3 ATRs above. From there the up move does the work. The candle after entry extends higher, then another, each one closing above the last as the activator rails begin to step up beneath price like a staircase of support. Momentum carries the market up into the take profit target, and the trade closes at the take profit marker for a completed long. Notice the reward to risk here. The target was set 3 ATRs away while the stop risk 2, a 1.5 to 1 structure defined before the trade ever moved. Now the market rolls over, and we get to watch the mirror image. After the peak, buyers fade. A couple of candles close lower, and price slips back toward the trend average. Then a bar closes firmly below the green lower rail, the average of recent lows. That's the fresh down flip. And crucially, this close is now below the blue trend average as well, so the regime filter agrees. Both short conditions line up, and the sell entry marker prints. Just as before, risk is defined immediately. The EA reads the bid as entry, places the stop loss 2 ATRs above, just over the recent highs, and sets the take profit 3 ATRs below. Then the down move develops. The next candles close progressively lower, the activator rails now stepping down above price as trailing resistance, and the market slides into the short take profit target, closing the trade at the second take profit marker. Step back and look at the full picture. In both trades the pattern was identical. Price had to break the correct activator rail to produce a fresh flip, and the close had to be on the correct side of the trend average for the filter to agree. Only then did the entry fire, and only then was the trade bracketed with a volatility-scaled stop and target. If the activator had flipped back the other way while a trade was open, the EA would have closed it early rather than waiting for the stop, because the activator serves as both the entry signal and a reversal exit. Of course, not every flip leads to a clean run like these two illustrations. Trends fail, price can reverse straight into the stop, and losses are a normal part of any trend-following approach. What the chart shows is simply how the rules are meant to behave when a move follows through. This is educational information only, not a prediction or a recommendation. And that brings us to the end of our breakdown of Gann Activator Trend. We covered the big picture of this trend-following expert advisor, walked through how the Gann HiLo Activator and the 50-bar trend filter combine to signal entries, read the key parts of the MQL5 code for both the long and the short side, and illustrated a full buy and sell sequence on the chart, complete with volatility-based stops and targets. Everything here is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice, not a recommendation, and not a solicitation to trade. Trading carries real risk, and losses do occur. If you found this useful, please like the video, leave a comment with any strategy you'd like analyzed next, and subscribe for more MetaTrader 5 strategy breakdowns. You can find more at www.algobot.live. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Trade responsibly.